The Giraffe and the Peony and Me. It wasn't long before we came to the gates of Hampshire House, and as the giraffe moved slowly up in the great wide driveway, we all began to feel just a little bit nervous. "What's he like, this Duke?" the giraffe asked me. "I don't know," I said, "but he's very, very famous and very rich. People say he has 25 granders just to look after his flower beds." Soon, the huge house itself came into view, and what a house it is! It's like a palace. It was bigger than a palace. "Just look at those windows," cried the monkey. "They keep us going forever." Then suddenly, we heard a man's voice with a short distance away to the night. "I want those big black ones at the top of the tree," the man was shouting. "Get me those great big black ones." We peered around with the bushes and saw an oldish man with the immense white motorcycle standing under a tall tree and pointing to his walking stick in the air. There was a ladder against the tree, and another man, who was probably a gardener, was up the ladder. "Get me those great big black juicy ones," the very top, the old man was shouting. "I can't reach it, Your Grace," the gardener called back. "The ladder isn't long enough." "Lemons," shouted the Duke. I was so looking forward to eating those big ones." "Here we go," the pelican whispered to me, and with a swish and a swap, he carried me up to the very top of the cherry tree, and there he perched. "Pick them, Billy," he whispered. Pick them quick and put them in my beak." The gardener got so shocked he fell down the ladder. Down below us, the Duke was shouting, "My gun! Get me my gun! Some demon monster of a bird is tearing my best cherries! Be off with you, sir! Go away! Those are my cherries, not yours! I'll have you shot for this, sir! Where is my gun?" "Hurry, Billy," whispered the pelican. "Hurry, hurry, hurry! My gun!" the Duke was shouting to the gardener. "Get my gun, you idiot! I'll have you that evening for bird for breakfast. You see if I don't." "I've picked them all," I whispered to the pelican. At once, the peony flew down and landed down beside the furious figure of the Duke of Hampshire, who was prancing about with his stick at the air. "Your cherries, your grace," I said, and I landed over the edge of the pelican's brick and offered a handful of to Duke. The Duke was thunders. He leaned back and his eyes popped nearly out of their sockets. "Great soft," he gasped. Good Lord! What's this? Who are you?" And now the giraffe with the monkey dancing about on her back up suddenly from the bushes. The Duke stared at him. He looked as though he was about to have a fit. "Who are these creatures?" he brawled. He had the whole world and country doubting. "We are the window cleaners," sang out the monkey. "We will brush your grass. Hair is shining like brass, and it sparkles like the sun on the sea. We will work for your grace till we are blue in the face, the giraffe and Peely and me." "You asked to come and see you," the giraffe said. The truth was at last beginning to dawn on the Duke. He put a cherry into his mouth and chewed it slowly. Then he spat on the stone. "I like this way you pick those cherries for me," he said. Could you also pick my apples in the autumn?" We could, of course we could," we all shouted. "And who are you?" the Duke said, pointing his stick at me. "He is our business manager," the giraffe said. "His name is Billy. We go nowhere without him." Very well," the Duke muttered. "Come along with me. Let's see if you are any good at cleaning windows." I climbed out of the pelican's beak, and the kindly old Duke took me by the hand as we all walked towards the house. When we get there, the Duke said, "What happens next?" "It is all very simple, Your Grace," the giraffe replied. "I am the leader. The Peely is the bucket, and the monkey is the cleaner. Watch us go." With that, the famous window cleaning gang spurred into action. The monkey jumped down from the giraffe's back and turned on the garden tuft. The pelican had his great beak under the tuft until it was full of water. Then, with a wonderful stern leap, the monkey leaped once again and to the giraffe's back. From there, he scrambled as easily as if he were climbing in the tree of the long leg of the giraffe until he stood bouncing on the very top of her head. The pelican remained standing on the ground beside us, looking at the giraffe. Where do the tough rovers? Said the giraffe shouted down, burning the water of praise. The duck cried out, "Don't worry about the two tough rovers. You can't reach them anyway." "Who says we can reach them?" the giraffe called back. "I do," the duck said firmly, "and I'm not having any of you risking your silly necks around here. If you wish to be friends with the giraffe, never say anything bad about its necks. Its neck is proudest possessions." "What's wrong with my neck?" snapped the giraffe. "Don't argue with me, you foolish creature," cried the duck. If you can't reach it, you can't reach it, and that's the end of it. Now get on with your work." "Your Grace," the giraffe said, giving the duck a small surprised smile, "there are no windows in the world. I cannot reach this magical neck of mine." The monkey, who was dancing about most dangerously on top of the giraffe's head, cried out, "Show him, Giraffe. Go on and show him what you can do with your magical neck." The next moment, the giraffe's neck, which heaven knows is long enough already, began to grow longer and longer and longer and longer and higher and higher and higher, until at last the giraffe's head were with the monkey on the top. It was the level of the windows on the top row. The giraffe looked down from her great height and said to the duck, "How's that?" The duck was speechless. So was I. It was the most magical thing I had ever seen, more magical than even a pelican's printed brick. The end.